Hey guys, Chris here with Work to Game, and today I'd like to answer the question, what does it take to get started playing Warhammer? Warhammer is an incredibly complex game that comes from a simple set of rules. Basically, Warhammer is Risk, but with kind of chess rules applied to each piece, where you kind of have almost this D&D type stat pane, and you're rolling lots of dice, and it's very complex. So, with that, it sounds like I would need a lot to get started, and that's just not the case. The first thing you're going to need is a board, somewhere to play it. The tournament size board is 6 feet by 4 feet, so that's a pretty big table, and it's honestly easier to find in your own home at first on the floor. So you can take a 6 foot by 4 foot section of your living room, or if you're doing on 1 foot tiles in the kitchen. But if you're just trying to try the game out, then you don't need all of that. You can play anywhere on any size. I've played on small little tables, just squad against squad, no big deal. Couldn't be simpler. So you'll need to know how to play. And the first thing you'll need to get is I play 40K. So when I say Warhammer, mostly on this channel, I'm really going to be talking about 40K, not Age of Sigmar. That's a totally different game from the same people. So Warhammer 40K, you are going to need this book. It comes in a starter box or by itself, and that is going to get you through the rules. Now this looks very, very thick, but it is actually mostly just narrative and all this other stuff. The rules section itself is maybe 10, 12 pages long, and they're mostly going over weird scenarios. So for example, like the psychic phase, if you don't have any psychic units, you won't even need that phase. And so it's just a lot of examples. And so from there, you need to talk about your army. Now, armies currently run on codexes. Codexes look like this. I play Chaos Space Marines. That's one of the many armies in Warhammer 40K. And the codex goes into all these pieces. Once again, a very long book, but most of it is just pretty pictures. And there's a very small section that goes over all the rules for your unit. And so you have each individual models. Now 8th edition put the reset button so hard that you ended up with indexes. Indexes actually have multiple armies in them. This is the Chaos Index. There is also a couple Imperium indexes, and then there are Xenos indexes. There is a Xenos 1 and a Xenos 2, and they have different armies in them, and that will actually get you through most of this with these individual stat panes. And so that will get you all of your pieces. Now you need models. I hear these models are really expensive, and they can be. You can pay online anywhere from $1 for little cheap infantry that you're buying used up to $100 for some of this stuff. So when you think about armies that run anywhere from 40 to 300 models at a time, it can get very expensive very quickly, and there is no need to spend that if you're just getting started. I'm not saying you won't one day accidentally spend that, but it's the exact same as video games. I have definitely spent thousands of dollars on video games over time, and I've had lots of enjoyment along the way, and I'll continue to have lots of enjoyment just from the games I have right now. So anything new I buy just adds on to that. And this is the exact same thing. You know, there are different models, definitely, and that's great, but you can also play with just medicine bottles, or if one of your friends has an army, you can borrow theirs. You could play with little army men. You can play with a soda can for one of the big walkers. It doesn't really matter as long as you're both kind of equal and you agree on it. So I've played with quarters for my infantry, and you just kind of slide those around. It all works fine. And then you need some dice. Dice, it's mostly a D6 game now. Previous editions were way more complex, so you're going to need D6 dice. I wouldn't just go with 1 and 2. I would actually look at maybe like if you're a Magic, Magic player or something, and you have those bricks of dice with like 27. That's probably a worthwhile purchase if you're getting in on this. And then the last thing is a measuring tape. The game is played through distances. We talked about a 6 foot by 4 foot table. Well, things can move. Some units can only move 5 inches on their turn. Others can move things like 40 inches on their turn. And so movement and range, at which range they can attack and things like that, all play a big, big effect. And that would be enough to get you started. So if you have been hesitating to do this game, do not hesitate. Go ahead, make the jump. It's worth it. I have a lot of fun with this game. Your local shop probably has a group of people that are more than happy to kind of walk you through it. Sometimes they do what's different leagues. So there's what's called like an Escalation League, where you'll start with like 500 points. And because the game is run on points, and then you'll actually expand from there. And so each week you just kind of put together, and that's for people that are actually interested in building their armies, because when it comes to building your army, this game can get very expensive very quickly. And with that, I would like to say welcome to the hobby. I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. I'm just trying to do brief little short videos on Warhammer each week, and hopefully bring you guys along as I dive back in. I'm going to dive into 8th, probably deeper than I've dove into any edition of Warhammer before, because I have a lot of friends coming online and trying it out. And so I would love to know what you guys think. Are you guys already players? Have you ever thought about playing? You know, is this kind of the push you need? What would it take to get you to try Warhammer? I hope you guys are having a great week. This has been Chris with Work to Game, and I'll see you next time.
Hey, Chris. I really like what you do on this channel, and I want to say thanks. How can I do that?
You know, you could try being a patron.
Oh, okay. So tell me more about it.
Well, I think you'd have to click on the link to take you to our Patreon page and see if you want to support it. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to support just me. Okay. You're going to have to support both of us.
So this is kind of like a win-win. So if they support you, they support me, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Do we have like cool, fun rewards? Like, is there anything
I
get?
They do, and we're constantly looking for ways to change that. So if you support Team Brian, Team Chris, just Team Work to Game, click on that link.
Yeah. Let us know what you think about the rewards too, whether you like them or if we could do something a little bit different.
And by the way, thanks for watching this video.
We really appreciate it.
We'll see you next time.
Take care.